A proportion is a fractional statement of equality between two ratios or rates. So when one rate is equal to another rate, or one ratio is equal to another ratio. Proportional reasoning is the ability to understand and compare quantities that are related. So what we're going to do is we have three sets of ratios given, and they are equal to each other. So 3 over 4 is equal to x over 16. What we want to do is we want to solve for x. So when we solve for x, we've got to get x by itself. So since we're dividing by 16, we're going to times both sides by 16. Cross this out. So on this side, we have 16 times 3 divided by 4 equals x. Now that we have x by itself, we can multiply it out. So 16 times 3 is 48. Divided by 4 equals 12. So we know that x is equal to 12. For the next one, we have x on the bottom. So we want to move x. So we're going to times both sides by x. So we have 2x over 5 equals 16. Now we want to get rid of the 5, so times both sides by 5. So we have 2x is equal to 16 times 5. Divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to 16 times 5 divided by 2. And 16 times 5 divided by 2 is 40. Next one, we want to get rid of the 5, so we're going to times both sides by 5. This cancels, so we have x is equal to 5 times 5 divided by 25. 5 times 5 is 25, so 25 divided by 25 is 1. What you may notice is that when we get to this state right here, it's the same as our 16 multiplied by our 3 divided by 4. So you multiply across and you divide by 4. Some people remember this as cross multiply and divide. Same thing works over here. We have 16 times 5 divided by 2. And the last one, 5 times 5 divided by 25. We can also set up our own proportions. So for example 2. If a carpenter bonds 2 pieces of wood with epoxy resin, she must first mix the epoxy with hardener. So we have a ratio of epoxy to hardener. And they're mixed to a ratio of 10 to 1. So 10 parts epoxy to 1 part hardener. So let's make that a fraction. If the carpenter wants to use 150 parts of epoxy, how many parts of hardener would she need? So we're going to set this equal to a second ratio. And we know that we have 150 parts epoxy. So right here. And we want to know how much hardener. So we put x on the bottom. So to solve for this, we're going to cross multiply. So 150 times 1 and divide by 10 equals x. 150 times 1 is 150. Divided by 10 is 15. So she would need 15 parts of hardener. Example 3. You are in charge of making punch for a party. To make 1 batch of punch, you need 2 cups of juice, 5 cups of Sprite, and that is your ratio. How many cups of Sprite do you need to make 28 cups of punch? So first of all, what are we comparing? we're comparing the Sprite to the total number of cups. So first we need to find our total number. So we add 5 plus 2, so 7 cups for one batch of punch. So we're going to create a ratio of Sprite to the total, which is 5/7. We want to know how many cups of Sprite to make 28 cups of punch. So we know that in total we have 28, so we put our 28 on the bottom. Always keep them the same. The bottom is always your total numbers. And we want to know Sprite, so we put X on the top. Now we're going to solve, so we multiply across. So 28 times 5 and divide down. So divide by 7. 28 times 5 is 140. Divided by 7 is 20. So you would need 20 cups of Sprite. John has found that he can arrange the work cubicles of his employees best if the ratio between the length and the width is 3:2. So our length is 3 to our width, which is 2. If a room is 6 meters long, how wide will it be? So we know our length is going to be 6. We want to find our width. We're going to solve by cross multiplying, so 6 times 2, then dividing, divided by 3 equals X. 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we know that the width of the room is going to be 4 meters wide.